Yo, what up, yo? This is the Grind2Hard podcast. Thank you for watching. This is episode number 70. I'm Chef Clay, the host of this podcast. It's a privilege to be on this podcast. It's a privilege to be a personal chef here in El Paso, Texas. It's my career. I go inside people's homes and I cook for individuals and families. It's fun and it's my passion. So the direct passion that I have, I figured out, is food and making amazing plates. The flavor is always there for me, and I'm learning how to scale it up and make it look beautiful. So me as a personal chef got to this Grind2Hard podcast. This is the fruits of it, and I hope that you watch it and get a little motivation to start what your passion is and cultivate it into a business, or just cultivate it into a side hustle, or just some hobby that you actually do and it improves your life. That's what we do here. Talk about motivation and entrepreneurship. If you're noticing the high quality definition audio and visuals, this is Nevermore Records. If you guys want to start your own podcast, check out the number in the beginning of the podcast. You'll be able to start your own podcast, even if it's just one time. Check it out and get some therapy. That's what it is. You're just letting it out through the microphone and letting other people hear you. It's almost like a form of art in a way. Seriously, like this day and age with podcasts. So look into Paul Ward. He's the producer and owner here at Nevermore Records. So here we are, episode number 70. This is the Grind2Hard podcast. I'd like to welcome the guest, Mr. Ricky Savage. How you doing, boss?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Appreciate you coming by.
Good.
Once again, this is like number four. You've been on even the guest host with me, man.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. So I really appreciate you coming down.
No problem. I'm happy to be on.
Absolutely. So first and foremost, man, congratulations on that big win, man. 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I think 2 weeks ago. I lose track of time.
Yeah, man. Seriously, I was ready to cook for you right away.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate that. You really helped me out. You made me some bomb recovery food.
Oh, that pad thai you got down?
Yeah, it was real good. I mean, the weight cut's always hard for a fight, and you made me those meals that were able to help me recover, to gain that weight back on.
Anything I could do, man. I saw your whole, like, I didn't want to step in at all. You had a whole like regimen of things you were doing, and then even when I called to let you know, hey, I'm coming down. You're like, hey, man, I'm at the gym. I'm cutting weight. Drop it off with my lady. She's right there at the crib. And
exactly.
You were working right to the bone, right to the very, very, very bone. So, but what happened was you stepped in the ring. You were fighting at 145. What was the name of the event? Is in Las Cruces. Yeah,
Rise of the Empire by Empire Promotions. Shout out to them. They're doing big things out here in El Paso for martial arts. And the promotion, it's a great promotion. I was the main event.
Yeah, you were the main event. Who was your opponent?
Joseph Veloz.
Right.
Joe Veloz.
Right, man. As soon as you guys step in the ring, man, you had nothing but like that fire in your eyes, bro.
I mean, before the fight, like, it's all respect, you know. Right. I didn't know the guy before, and then I ended up finding out we went to high school together.
Oh, word?
And then the name kind of rang a bell, and then I kind of do remember seeing him, and I started remembering. It's so weird how things happen sometimes.
And body and shit.
And I guess I mean, we went to high school together. I think I graduated a year or two before him, and no, he was a tough opponent.
So he knew of you.
Yeah. So it's all respect, you know.
Always.
Like I said, post fight, it takes two to tango, and all respect in the world to my opponent, Joe.
Only warriors get locked up in that ring.
Oh,
dude.
for sure. I mean, getting in the cage and like locking yourself in with another individual that's training to kill you, and you're training to do the same. It takes a different kind of human being to do stuff like that. And like I said, shout out to him for being that opponent and giving me the opportunity to scrap it out.
Absolutely, man. I want to ask you like some questions about your training, but like for this time, because I asked you this question for your other fights, but this time when you actually stepped in the ring and it was go time, the cage was locked and it was go time, ref called you to the middle of the ring, like, how'd you feel this time, man? How'd you feel?
Yeah, so this time was a lot different. I made so many changes with everything in my life, in general. So many things changed.
Even your physical appearance, man. You're a beast, bro. You're big.
Thank you. Yeah, a lot of things changed going into this fight, and I just knew that I was gonna have to come back. When I turned pro, I took a couple losses. I never expected my pro career to start off like that.
Right.
And so many times I wanted to give up and just say, maybe this isn't for me. I could do other things. I have my own gym. I have a lot of great things going for me. Fighting is like, I love it. I just love it. And I knew that I couldn't leave it behind without giving my all. And
talking to you, that's part of the journey is reaching that point of giving up, like pushing that limit every single day of your training, of your yourself, mentally, all that stuff.
Exactly, bro. And so many days I just felt like giving up and like things weren't gonna click. And I tell everyone, I don't sugarcoat things or lie about it. But being a head coach at my gym and seeing my fighters putting their heart and souls on the line constantly, I felt that I am not the kind of leader that's going to watch you do something and expect you to do something without me also doing that something, and without me showing that it can be done. And leading by example is really something that I live by, and
that's so a cornerstone of leadership for sure.
Exactly. So I just felt like it was time for me to jump back in and make this comeback that I've been planning for so long, that I dreamed about. And that's hopefully I went out there and I made the statement that I needed to make, and I think that's going to carry on into the next fight and the one after that. And I'm just really going to take it one fight at a time. And
that's all we can do, right?
Yeah. So like you said, going in there, I was just hungry. I felt like I worked so hard. I felt no pressure. I felt like I've already given everything that I've been giving to the game. I mean, on so many levels, as a coach, as a fighter, everything. In this camp, I left no stone unturned. Like, no stone unturned. I cut no corners. I ate perfect. I lifted. I ran. I did so many sprints. So much on the assault bike. Those workouts, I mean, my teammates, my students will tell you, like, the assault bike workouts, there's nothing like that. I mean,
is that the air bike you have in the gym?
Yeah, that's just like, those workouts are brutal. I mean, harder than the fight, much harder than the fight.
And the point of that is to push your endurance?
Just to push you to the point of just
breaking.
Damn, dude. Yeah, okay. Your legs burn so much and your heart is beating at like 100.
I think I did that one time in one of your like circuit trainings.
Sometimes we add it to the circuit. It's rare because I don't want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't feeling the full pressure of the whole thing, but it was still like, damn, you want me to keep going, really?
Yeah, like, and I had to do that like constantly this camping, and a lot of things changed. I was working with a group called Fight Science Collective. I had found them on Instagram, and after my last loss, I went and looked them up. You can find them on Instagram, Fight Science Collective. Right. And I was working with my buddy Adam. He's the owner. He's the one that runs the program. It's like a strength and conditioning for fighters, and he really helps you to figure out how to do your strength and conditioning, how to push yourself to the point where you're not going to be gassing out. And that's what had happened in my last loss. I was winning the whole fight, and then I gassed out in the last round, and my opponent was able to take advantage and get the dub, and that's good, for him. For me, it showed me that I needed to work harder, that I needed to make sure that I never gas out again, and I think I got that covered now. I don't think cardio will ever be a problem for me again.
That's what's up, man. So it wasn't different. Like this time when you got locked in the ring and it was ready, it was go time. Like you just were ready, loose and ready to just use your training. And
I was ready to. I mean, I was just ready to go. I mean, I told myself that like I'm not leaving that cage without the dub. Right. Like it's either all or nothing. It's kill or be killed to the fullest sense of the term. Yeah. And that's how I saw it, And then looking ringside, I see my family. Right. My son, he's 1 year old, 1 year old, and my mom, my dad, my uncles, cousins, like everybody was there, friends, teammates, everybody. And I just said, this is my time. And the warm up in the back pre-fight, I was drenched. like usually when you're warming up in the back, you're like breathing hard and you're a little nervous and you're hitting and then the nerves and it's a lot, you know. It could be a lot in the back pre-fight and like I said, post-fight interview, I was like, some people break in the back.
Right.
You know what I mean? In the back, you could get in your own head and you can break mentally, and that can affect your performance.
Oh yeah, definitely. Overexert yourself or whatever the case may be.
Exactly. You get too riled up, and then things could go south for you. So I just stayed really calm, and I was striking with precision in my warm up, and I felt really confident, and I was loose. And by the time I walked out there, I was drenched in sweat, and I was just ready to let it go. And I knew like I knew deep inside that there's not only that opponent, but that there's no person at my weight class at that moment in time that would have beat me at that moment in that place.
So what advice would you give somebody coming off a loss, stepping into the ring and doing the best training they have? What advice would you give to somebody that's ready? That's ready to step in the ring and might have a little bit of anxiety or inhibitions?
So trust in your training. Trust in your training, trust in your preparation. If you cut no corners, there's no reason you should doubt yourself. If you cut no corners, there's no reason you should doubt yourself. And sometimes, you know, like Bruce Lee says, sometimes you have to learn to accept failure as well. The failures will make you. You know, if it wasn't for that last loss, I wouldn't have covered all these gaps that I ended up finding in my game cardio wise. I thought I had great cardio. I gassed out in that one fight, and I realized, you know what, we need to take everything off the board and start from scratch.
Right.
And I've done that so many times in so many aspects, not even just in martial arts, in so many aspects of my life and business and so many things. And this time I started from scratch and I found the answers. Nutritionist. I work with a nutritionist.
Yeah. If we could, can we go back to like rewind just that day that you signed the papers? Like, okay, I got to fight now. Like, how much time did you have to train for the fight?
I had a good amount of time. You know, I took. In those first losses that I had, I took them on short notice, 48 hours notice.
Holy shit.
Against the number one guy in Arizona, or 2 weeks notice against a top guy from Chicago. And I made some bad decisions when I first started my career as a pro, and that's what I try to keep my fighters from doing, making the wrong decisions, and I try to guide them and help them in the best way possible that I can.
Right, yeah, that's a great coach.
To set them up for success, you know what I mean? I protect them from themselves and their own egos sometimes, and that's how I wish when I was young and I was starting in the game, I wish I had someone to protect me from my own ego, but that was not the case. The case, everything worked out for a reason, for me to become the person I am, to help them to not make those mistakes. So it is what it is. But going back to your question, I just wanted to go out there, work hard, and my advice would be to just trust in your training, trust in your preparation. If you cut no corners, you will be fine. You know what I mean? Trust in your preparation and visualize the moment, visualize the win. The visualization is a major key, so that you don't feel like it's something new. It's like, this is what it's supposed to be. Yeah. You know, even after the win, I was like, I'm gonna be so excited, I'm gonna be so intense. And even after it was over, I just felt like I've already been there so many times. So I was just like, I wasn't even like going crazy or anything. I was just like, you know, I was more interested in, you know, being there for the opponent. I was like, you know, hugging them and telling them like, hey bro, it takes a real fucking warrior to step in here and don't get down on yourself, because I know that pain. I know that pain. To lose in that cage in front of all the people that love you. So I was more thinking of him, you know. So it's crazy.
The empathy in the win, man. That's fucking good. That's fucking very, very, very good, especially as a fighter, man. This is a different type of sport. What was your training like? Was it 6 days, 7 days a week? How much were you in the gym, and also like how was your eating? When
the camp started, it was 7 days a week.
Damn.
Training, no breaks. And then since I coach and I run my gym, I had to be doing all these classes.
That's another thing I was gonna say, is that you're not just a fighter, like you own your gym and actually coach at your gym.
Yeah, so
mentor at your gym.
So I would find time pre teaching in the morning, I would train before or sometimes after. And then in the evening, I coach again. Later in the evening, 6 p.m., 7 p.m., I coach. So I would train before that or after that. And then I just had to find time in the gaps. You know, a lot of people make excuses. I don't have enough time, this and that. There's no excuses, brother. There's 24 hours in a day. If you want it, you could get it.
Yeah.
If you want to train, you could make it happen.
Yeah.
There is time in the day. You need, I think, average person, you know, you need 5-6 hours of sleep. You know, if you get 9, awesome. That's great. If you get 5-6, you'll be fine. You know what I mean? It's not, you got 24 hours. That leaves you with what? Say you get 6 hours. That leaves you with 18, right? 18 hours. So then what are you going to do with those 18?
How are you going to split it up? You got to eat, you got to take a shower and all that shit. You know what I mean? How are you going to split up your time?
Yeah.
And that, I think I've heard that from entrepreneurs, and it's like you can hear all the advice you want. It's a matter of implementing this stuff into your life. You know what I mean? And like keeping it up day to day. Like I think one thing when I made a choice to like make a transition and focus on my business more, I was like, you know what? Like I gotta get organized, not just like have a calendar on my phone, but boom, 1, 2, 3 months at a time, right? And look at what I have on the books, what money's coming in, what money's going out, you know, and all this stuff. And like if you really want it, like, you know, like you're saying, like it's there to get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And don't just watch the podcast, don't just read the book, but implement those things that you learn into your life.
For sure.
And watch them work or watch them fail. And when they fail, try another fucking avenue, you know, to get to that success.
Exactly. That's why a lot of people don't even get started with things, because they're afraid of failure. You know what I mean? They're afraid of failure, and you know, failure is scary. It is scary, and it does hurt.
Right.
But in that is where you can find yourself in those moments, and we spoke about this before plenty of times. But it's so important, because so many people they dodge the work. They dodge the goals, or they're afraid to speak their vision, or afraid to chase after their goals or their dreams, and they say no. Well, they just settle for the average, and it's like you don't want to live like that. Then you end up working for someone that did chase their dreams, for someone that did go out and get it. You know, So yeah, I mean, things were a lot different this time around. I literally sacrificed it all, and I always say that, and like I don't think people really know what that means, and you know, it's not for everyone to know what that means. Like sometimes it's just you take it for what it is. You put your own belief on that, whatever that means to you. You know, what would sacrificing it all mean to you?
Absolutely. Let me talk about this then, because before on the podcast we talked about what you your vibration, that you change your vibration, right? And then instead of looking for things started coming your way.
Exactly.
You actually found your lady, your baby mama, right? And you have 2 kids now.
My wife,
your wife.
I found my wife, and we're about to have our second son, and so we had spoken about that.
That's what I'm saying.
It's kind of like the law of attraction,
right? But what I'm getting to is that it takes a certain type of person and a certain type of love to be with an entrepreneur, fighter, a goal setter, a very passionate person. You know what I mean? And kudos to not only Kylie, but to women out there that are standing by people that are going for their dreams, that are so passionate, so driven, so, you know, cutting every little corner of their life to get to this goal.
Oh, for sure.
And then supporting them, you know what I mean? Because that's big. That's 100%, really big.
100%, bro. None of this would have happened if it wasn't for my wife being there for me. I mean, everything. It's funny because I had planned to, after the fight, like thank her so much. She was the one person, obviously her and God, that I needed to thank the most. I got up there and I was so excited that I completely forgot, like a fool. But like,
I think it was the empathy. You were thanking your opponent a lot.
Yeah, for sure. But you know, I really want to put it out there that if it wasn't for her, none of this would have happened. Like, she literally fed me every single day, had me taken care of, like, on so many levels, bro. Like, even in the weight cut, she was there fucking wiping the sweat off my forehead while I was in the hot-ass 110-degree water burning up, you know what I mean? Like, it was crazy. It was crazy, but she was there through it all, you know, and she's pregnant, and she was there through it all. So, you know,
much respect, dude. Seriously.
That's what I tell guys.
One, bro.
You find a real one, you find a ride or die, you want to keep a ride or die, you know. That's not the person you turn your back on. That's the person you give your all to, and it's super important.
I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think that's a component to your success. Honestly,
facts.
yeah, seriously.
Facts. Yeah, having someone that rides for you, that believes in you, that backs you up in all your decisions, that, you know, a lot of women, you know, they don't want to. They
want the now.
Yeah, they want everything now. They're not willing to go through the struggle to help you get it.
Fulfill, you know, the vision. Yeah,
and that's why when you find a woman with those qualities that's willing to go through it and help you to get to the spot that you've been dreaming of, that you've been working towards. Respect that. That's the woman that you marry, you know, and that's what my intentions are with her. So
absolutely,
that's what it is.
Yeah, and yeah, so it's definitely shout out to Kylie, and shout out to every woman, every partner that's supporting their passionate, driven entrepreneur, fighter, whatever the case may be, because it's hard damn work, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
I me personally, I've been doing this personal chef thing for about 5 years, and I'm doing this podcast going on two years now, and you know, like, it's like the support. I support myself in this whole thing, but I had a partner in this game for the podcast, and you know, that was great. But now when it's yourself, you just rely on yourself for so many things. You know what I mean? That just having that partner to bounce off information, or just give you that when you don't want it. You know, just that little bit of support or whatever. You know what I mean? That's key. So
for sure,
look for those people and respect that type of relationship. Honestly. So
yeah, so many times I was in the gym like, I'm done. I can't, like, I don't have the motivation to squat anymore. I don't have the motivation to hit the bag for another 20, 30 minutes. I just didn't have the motivation anymore. And she'd be like, no, this is what you wanted. This is like tough love, bro. Just like how I am. Yeah. So she'd be like, this is what you wanted. This is what it is. Just like how I talk to my students. That was her, like, relaying the message back to me and telling me, no, this is what you want. This is what you chose. No one's making you do this. This is what you want. Now you got to earn it, you know, and that's what I did, you know. That win was earned from the ground up.
Absolutely.
Making major changes and
withstanding a lot of outside negative energy coming your way, dude. A lot of stuff. I want to go into like business, right, and talk about like partnerships, because personally I've been through a lot. I have like anxiety even of like hiring somebody or even partnering up with people. Yeah. You put yourself out there and you're not worried about it. You I mean, I don't know how you feel at this point, but I've seen you partner up with a lot of people. You've mentored a lot of people, coached a lot of people, been in the corner for a lot of people. So I wanted to ask, like, how do you feel when somebody brand new says, "Hey, Ricky, I really need you to, you know, guide me in this direction, or I want to do this with you"? Yeah,
so my door's always open, and people, a lot of people come to me for martial arts help, advice, also for other reasons, you know.
Sure, business.
Yeah, for business and also spiritual, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like I'm very in tune with my spiritual side, and I feel like that's the most purpose that I have, more than teaching people about martial arts. I feel like helping someone understand why things might be going wrong in their life, or how they can better connect and reach out to God through prayer and other things. I feel like that's a lot more purpose, a lot more fulfilling to me than anything else. But I help people in lots of different ways. I try to do my best. Of course, I'm not perfect myself at all, but I try to be there for people seeking advice and seeking help. And so, yeah, my door's always open, and I'm always my doors are always open at my gym, SBG MMA Academy, and I'm always here. You know, I've even put it out there before. If someone's going through something, you can always DM me, and I will respond.
That's absolutely facts. And just so you know, right now, guys, in case you never seen Ricky before, Ricky Savage has a gym. It's SVG Academy on Texas. You guys can check it out. Honestly, like, check out either the IG or just go to the gym. The first day is free. You could check out the gym and see what he's got to offer, and then talk to him. See what he's talking about with the spirituality, with the even just like technique. For instance, me personally, I was going through it one day. I wasn't even going through it. The thing that I learned was as we were hitting the pads, I was trying to kill the pads, right? And I'm trying to be the toughest guy on the block. And that's not what martial arts or training is about. I wanted to get better and I wanted to get faster. And so I needed to stop, breathe, and then start over. And then make the point of getting faster and having better technique, you know, and then stop like worrying about I need to be tougher, I need to be this, that, and the other. And then I was able to focus. And I'll tell you, I was going 4 to 5 times a week to this gym, and I swear in my whole life, that's the best that I ever felt in my body. And when you take care of your body, that everything else like comes full circle. Your mental, because you feel good. Like you look in the mirror, you feel good. Like people tell you, hey man, you're losing, you're skinny. You're like, fuck, I look good. I like the way I look. You know what I'm saying? Like other people are eating whatever they want. They look at you and they think that you're skinny, but this is a whole different aspect. You have to have the view of yourself. You have to value yourself and understand going to the gym 4 to 5 times a week is part of life. It's not like, oh, I have to go to the gym.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, no, that's your routine. You wake up, feed the dog, go for a walk, you know, get dressed, brush your teeth, head to the gym. Do you have, you know, your right equipment? Okay, then start your day. Then you start your day. You know,
for sure.
Day, you know what I mean?
And it's really like perception, right? Like, I mean, put things in perspective, right? Like, if you're thinking like, oh man, of course we've all gone through it, you know what I mean? Where it's like, oh man, I gotta go to the gym, I gotta do this. Right. You really don't have to do anything. You could do whatever you want. But you get to do these things. You get to go work out. And there's third world countries, people, not everyone has these opportunities that we have, these freedoms that we have in America to do what we like. Well, to have the freedom to chase our dreams, to have the freedom to go work out, to
freedom
go get
to sit
a job,
on the couch and play video games all day.
Yeah, if that's what you want to do.
That's what you want to do, right?
Yeah, so everyone can make their own decisions.
There's results to all that.
They have their own freedom, you know, and like you said, everyone's going to have their own perception on what you're doing. Everyone's got something to say about the next person. Oh, he's doing this or he's doing just focus on yourself, man. That's the way to get ahead. Focus on yourself instead of trying to judge other people for what they're, especially if they're trying to better themselves. Why would you want to try to put down someone that's trying to better themselves, you know? Like I said, there was a lot of outside noise going into this fight. A lot of negative energy. But I just tune it out, you know what I mean? I don't let it touch me. I feel like when you're in tune with yourself, the outside noise, it's just I know how to block it. I know how to tune it out. I don't let it infiltrate and come into my mind and start to mess with me. Like that's what the outside noise wants. So me personally, I just focused on the task at hand, and I focused on the small daily habits. Your small daily habits will lead you into your main goals and dreams and aspirations. But it starts with what are you gonna do today? Do you know what I mean? Right,
and that's the mental aspect of it, absolutely, and always keep that positive aspect of that 100%. But I know in the real world, actually, when you start business and you're growing your business and you partner up with people and you hire people and stuff like that, you get burned, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's where I'm at. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel you. Like, I almost like when you were going through your fight camp, I wanted to like go to the gym or even say what's up, but I was like, I don't even want to like his vibe. It's just like there. I don't even want to like interfere with the vibe. You were on a track. You know
I was locked in. I was super locked in,
dude. You know what I mean? I'm glad that I could actually drop off those meals for you because it was like, you know, just minimal. But I mean, I just wanted to see what I could do to help.
That was major for me,
you know what I'm saying? But
that made such a difference for me, bro. And I appreciate you for that.
Absolutely. But what I'm getting to is just that like you're focused, man. And then I've been looking at you for a while, and it's just like you're focused. Like you know what you want. You keep your pillar. You got your spiritual balance, you got your real world balance with your family, you have your business balance, and then all of a sudden, like, I mean, you're showing your fruits of your financial balance, man. And I'm just, you know, congratulations, man. Seriously,
thank you, bro.
It's coming to fruition because, like you talked about on one of our podcasts before, it's a vibration. It's not like
it's a vibration,
grabbing things and wanting things and why isn't this happening for me? It's the positive work that you do within yourself every single day. And maybe you have doubts even then, but keep that within. Never speak it into fruition. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, you got to vibe towards it. You know, you have to move towards it, and like you can't just say, "Oh, I want this, this, and this." Like it's okay to verbalize it, but then you have to take the action, right? A lot of people say, "Well, I want to do this, I want to do this." Well, you got to take action and move towards it.
So what about when you take action, you get burned?
So getting burned is going to be a part of life. You know, I've gone through some recent some recent business battles and exchanges in which, you know, I got burned in a certain way. I won't go into detail about it, but I will say that's actually a part of life. You know what I mean? And it's very unfortunate, but not everyone is gonna see or do good business. You know what I mean? Some people, they live by a code. I personally live by a code of integrity and honor. You know what I mean? You want to honor. So my word is my bond. So I feel like your word should be very important. Now in business, it's very important to have contracts and have everything stated on these contracts. Now sometimes you might go into business with a friend or whatever, and so contracts are not made as specifically, like, as they should, and then that could cause trouble in the future. So you know, it happens, and disputes happen, and these things happen, and it's all really a part of life. It's very unfortunate, but at the end of the day, you know that if you did everything good in your power, that you will have good karma and good energy coming your way. So that's something that's super important, because if you burn people, you will get burned. What goes around always comes back around.
And don't expect it, but that's just the vibe you need to carry. You, like, seriously, like when you're in a dispute, in something that happens, and you're like, fuck, I got burned in that. Like, what the fuck? I did everything right. This motherfucker walked away with everything. Oh, what the fuck? You have good karma. You walked away with good karma. You know what I mean? Like, you held your head high. You told the truth. You did the right things and the moves that nobody was seeing and stuff like that. So take that with you, and don't necessarily expect it back, but know that you're carrying that positive vibe. Facts. Right?
And one thing is, the light will what's in the dark will always come to light. Always, yeah. Okay? That's facts. That's facts. So not everyone knows all the ins and outs and the facts of everything, but I know God does. Yeah. And I trust that God works in his own way, you know, and whatever God wants to unfold, and however God wants to put things in our paths to make us better and to guide us, that's what's going to happen. You know, I have complete trust that God will always bring what's in the dark to the light, and people will see things for what they truly are.
Is there any advice to entrepreneurs that are in a rut right now, that are just getting burned and just not feeling it, like not feeling it, but they know their vision is still alive, their vision is still there?
Yeah, just keep believing, work harder, work double harder, find a way, and
that's tough love right there. Work harder.
And what happens a lot is you want to get partners to minimize the pressure of a business, and
that's facts.
And you want to get partners, but what I know is from doing all my businesses that I've done on my own, is that if I put all the pressure on myself, I know that I can always count on me. For sure. If I start to count on others, a lot of times people are always going to let you down, man. And not everyone's going to do things for the right way. Everyone's got some, not everyone, but some people have greedy intentions, or some people are envious. Some people get jealous. They might see a position, you know, someone might see the house you have or the vehicle. But
on the positive side, you might have taught them enough that they're ready to move on too, right?
Exactly. So I mean, these are all learning experiences. It's hard to like, I never want to judge people, bro, because like I'm not perfect, and I've never claimed to be perfect. Right. So when I was younger, maybe I made some of the same mistakes, you know, maybe I wasn't the same person I am now, but at this point where I'm at right now, I know that, you know, God has blessed me, and now I'm ready to move forward with good intentions.
I like that, man. Honestly, like, so if somebody walked up to you with a business venture and was like, hey Ricky, this is what's going on, like you have no inhibitions, nothing passes is like a demon like in your mind, like you're just ready to take this person on.
Not necessarily. Now you got to be cautious who you allow into your space, into your energy. You know, I feel like you know, I run across people all the time that are not, they don't have the best intentions at heart, or the best,
or the work ethic,
or they just don't they want it all right there. Sometimes like, say if the goal is money driven, chances are it could struggle. If it's passion driven, now those are things that I feel like could be more successful. You know what I mean? I feel like money is a byproduct of passion.
Yes.
And if you do what you're passionate about, you'll never really work a day in your life. It's
I learned that from one of the entrepreneurs that I was on. We had he was talking about how he was like just accomplishing all these goals and like vibrating some good things in his life. And I was like, you know what? Like I was about to say, it's the money that gets you there. But the money is the byproduct. And that's what I realized in that moment. As I'm thinking, I'm like, the money is the byproduct. He's vibrating all the right moves, talking, networking, and visioning and working every single day. And the money is the byproduct. That's, you know what I mean? He's buying the car, he's getting the house because he's always doing this. He's always focused on this and not worried about this.
You're making your worth. You see, like, you're going to make your worth by how hard you work at what you love, at your passion, you know what I mean? And that's where the value lies. And you become so good at what you do. You know, like you love to cook, you love making these really awesome dinners, and you're an amazing private chef. I personally have had your food. It's amazing. Best food I've ever had. I could straight up say it like that. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. You know what I mean? And so like you're passionate. I could tell you're passionate about what you do. You're not cutting corners. You're not trying to just throw up some random shit. You're really putting your heart and soul into the food, and it tastes like it. You know what I mean? So it's like same thing with me. Like I didn't open a gym to make money. Of course it's a business, and of course I'm hoping to make some money and be able to provide for my family, but I opened the gym specifically to help other people, not just in martial arts, in any way that I could, you know. And everything that I got off that was a byproduct of how much I put into these people. I mean,
I think what I'm seeing too is like sometimes when you're business, you make steps forward, all these steps forward, but honestly, like you might need to take 2 or 3 steps back.
It happens.
You got to focus, you got to refocus and make sure you're on the right path of your vision, your own vision, and didn't stray away from all this fundamentals that got you to where you're at. I remember, for instance, when I first started the business, I would I've talked about this a lot, but I would be like, hey, I want to come to your house, I want to cook for you in your home, I have all my own tools, equipment, I'm a chef, I wear chef coat. They're like, what are you talking about? I couldn't vision it for him, right? And then once I did Instagram, I got one dinner and I got this and like little pictures. They were like, okay, come cook for me. And I was like, I started feeling like yeah, it's working. But like I want to get back to that moment, honestly, because like I straight away, like the money didn't do it. It was more of the leveling up. I got lost in that sauce of leveling up. And I want to get back to that where I produce a product and somebody loves it, and that's what I want. Not so much like, oh, I need this money to do this, I want to move this money here, and I got to make this money next week. It's when you're entrepreneur, it happens. You start paying bills, you start having this going on, but you always have to be, if you want to be a successful businessman, you have to have that hunger. Always have the hunger, because that's what's going to keep those bills paid and you progressing. You know what I'm saying? Because if you start saying, oh, I make enough money and I do enough and things like that, well, you're just gonna have enough, and
you're just settling.
Yeah, you're just settling. Yeah.
But like you said, the thrill of leveling up, that's a major key there. Dude, the thrill of leveling up. Like I never think that, oh, I'm so good at martial arts. Like I'm happy that I've come this far. I'm happy that I've accomplished this. You know, back then I could never dreamed I'd be at the skill level that I'm at.
That's the thing.
And now I'm here, and I'm like, there's more to be done. I see guys in the UFC really killing it on so many levels, and I'm like,
I love that, man. I love that, because
there's so much more to be done.
And I feel like I'm almost like scared. Like I know it's out there. Like I could either change a city, I could apply for a show on TV. You know, there's so many things out there. I just don't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I just give myself a boundary, and like that, it's enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it's not getting caught up in the sauce in that way. It's more of just like downshifting, like it's all good. Like it's not all good, you know. Like you're young, you have energy, you have passion. There's other people that have never seen your art, tasted your product, seen what you can do. So like, why not just go out there and give it your all, 1,000%? You know what I'm saying? Like every single day. Because when nobody knew who I was giving it 1,000%, and I'm still doing that, but like it's just not the same, man. It's not the same. So what I'm doing right now is I'm taking those couple steps back and reassess. I'm gonna scale my business. I'm gonna scale the personal chef business. Try to hire 5 chefs to do what I do, because basically I wrote the formula, created the mold, and now I'm gonna step back as an executive type chef of the business and have other chefs do what I do.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah, I know, right? And for a long time I was like, you know what? People don't have the same service. They don't have the same, array of skills that I do. They can't really, but it's like, why do I put those boundaries?
Yeah.
Same putting boundaries on yourself, right?
Yeah.
It's like, no, I could teach these people. I could hire specific cuisine chefs. I could, put people on just like, if you have 20 hours extra a month, show me what those hours are, and then I'll fill those hours so that you're a personal chef in somebody's home, right?
Yep.
And then how much you get paid? $20 an hour? I'll make sure you get $50 an hour.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And I can do this. It's like there for me, but I just choose not to go down
it's
that
just
path.
It's like a puzzle, right? There's a bunch of pieces of the puzzle on this table, and you can grab them and put them together, but some people just like to sit right here and just look at the puzzle pieces and expect them to put themselves together. It's like you just got to take action, grab it, find where it fits. It might not fit this one, but then you try another one, and then it fits, and then before you know it, your masterpiece.
But I think what happens is like your puzzle analogy. Honestly, like you could sit back, like that's luxury to sit back and just look at the puzzle. That's luxury because back in the day we didn't have that luxury. We needed to work 40 hours and get $5 an hour. You know what I mean? We needed to get that extra job, right, just to be able to go out on the weekends and shit like that. You know what I mean? So we as entrepreneurs and we as like just people need to keep the fire on our ass. You know what I'm saying? Like never be comfortable. Take a vacation because you deserve it, right? But never just sit back and be comfortable with what life has to offer. You know what I'm saying? Later in life, you're gonna be maybe it could be a vegetable. Maybe you can't even walk. People feeding you and stuff like that. That's when, you know what I mean? Like you got to reassess life. You know what I mean? And figure out what the happiness in life at that point is. But right now you can walk, right now you can talk, right now you can go network with people, you know what I mean? Go work for somebody for free. I mean, Gary Vee says that all the time, but I'm telling you what your passion is. Like if you wanted to be a fighter right now, if you said right now, if you were on the couch and you're like, fuck, I want to be fucking I don't know, fucking best fighter. You want to be Ricky Savage. You want to be fucking Ricky Savage? If you walked into his gym today and said, hey man, this is what my dream is, this is what I want to do, he would take you seriously. You'd be sweeping his fucking gym for a couple weeks, maybe in a couple months, but you'll be training at his gym and you'll be fucking going down that road of what you want and as a passion. And if same thing if as a chef, if you came to me just like Chef Anthony, big shout out to Chef Anthony. This motherfucker came to me and said, hey, Clay, what do you do? Chef, what do you do? And I was like, hey man, come with me on Mondays, man. Just follow me and I'll show you what I do. And we walked into one house in the morning, one house in the afternoon, and then broke free, talked about the day. We did that day after, week after week. And then all of a sudden, he's like, yo, Chef, man, you gave me enough confidence. I think I'm ready to start my own business. I want to do it. And that was the intentions, man. Miss Ricky, I know you have like other fighters, coaches and things like that, but like my intentions were to just show him what I do and answer every single question that he had. That's what I did, man. And that's what I did. And I see the fruition in that. And in the beginning I was like, man, I want to hire this guy. I want him to be my partner. I want to do this and that. But it's like, you can't control all those things. You know what I mean? When you meet somebody, a human being, you can't control the way the relationship goes. You can only fruit it. You can only water that plant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what I did with Chef Anthony. So big shout out to Chef Anthony. If we partner up in the future, if we even just cook in the future, if you're the best chef in El Paso in Texas, bro, just straight shout out to you, seriously, because I seen you grow from where you were not confident, not knowing what your skills were, to now where you're very confident and you're ready to hit the world and tell your lady, let's go. And that's very big. That's very big in the world. So just shout out.
That's what it's all about, bro. Growth in whatever area, in whatever business you're in, and like I said, blocking out the outside noise. You know, you want to just lock in. It's real important to lock in and focus and you know it.
Do you have any tactics to help you like focus, lock? I mean, it must be the training. It must be like hitting the bag was a good.
There's tactics. There's things more than just the training, like waking up. In general in the morning, it's like, you know, a lot of people wake up and you're going back to sleep, you're waking up. It's like it's hard to get out of bed sometimes, and you feel that lack of motivation, but you gotta wake up. Like lately I wake up, bro, I like pop up. As soon as I open my eyes, I pop up, and the first thing I do is I'm like, thank God, I'm alive. Thank you, God, I'm alive. And not only that, but in this beautiful home, you know, I thank,
nice house, dude. Seriously,
I thank God for what He's given me, and like I'm just so blessed. It's crazy. So that first, gratitude. That's the key, right? Gratitude for the day. That's more important than just the training. You know, like waking up. with an attitude of gratitude. And I had this attitude this whole training camp. I was like waking up with this attitude of gratitude and just being grateful to be alive. You know, if I'm just grateful to be alive, I'm not going to be thinking, oh man, I gotta go train, I gotta do this. Like, I get to do these things, I'm alive, you know. So you're already setting a tone for your day. And then what you're ingesting, right? What are you watching on social media? What are you listening to music wise? Like this camp, I literally picked up country music. Like I started listening to country music this training camp. You know, usually I'm listening to rap all day long, listening to rap and rock and like just hardcore shit. And like, so I listen to music, it's intense. I go to the gym, it's intense. My whole life is intense. And like, it was just a lot, you know. And that was like the majority of my life up until now. And exactly. And now I listen to country. So like, not all the time, but
right. But yeah,
like in the morning, I'm on my way to work. You're
able to tune into that, right?
Yeah, I tune into this country music, and it's real mellow. It's happy. It's got good energy, good vibes. And then by the time I go to the gym, I'm ready to go hard. And then I leave, and I'm back on the country music tip, and I'm just like feeling it. And like, it's funny to say that because I was always like, I don't like country music, you know?
Yeah, same.
And now like I listen to it, like my energy changes. You know, I get happy. I get chill. It's like I don't need to be all like intense all the time, like just chill. And that way when it's time to execute, like the fight, then the energy can come out, because it hasn't been there the whole time. It's like you give it a break, you know.
I think what we do is we have to find these outlets, because like we could be the hardest worker in the fucking world, but we're not going to work 24/7, actual 24/7. So in those downtimes, your mind's going still. Like you could be not working physically, your mind's still going. So you need to find those things that help you, you know what I'm saying? And that's one for sure.
Exactly.
Hitting the bag, I can tell you for sure. Like something happens at night, or I can't sleep. Like in the morning when I was hitting the bag, I was like, why the fuck did that happen? When is that gonna change? How am I gonna make this change? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it was an intensity that I needed. You know what I mean? And you need to pick and choose your outlets that you have, though, because he's saying country was that mellow outlet, right?
Yeah.
And then the bag is that intense outlet, right? And then you need to figure out, okay, like for instance, my son, when I'm with him, nothing in the world bothers me, man. It could be nothing. It's just me and him. You know what I mean? So that's a different type of outlet. You know what I mean?
Spending time with my wife, my son, and just enjoying them, being there for them. You know, trying to give them the best of me that I can. Right. And just showing them like.
It must have been hard, man. I just gotta ask, man, seriously, because like I work a lot, and when I see my son, you know, twice a week, like. I mean, how did you do it, man? How did you do it, man? Seriously, like training.
So like the whole camp. I mean, I would see my son like a couple hours a day, because I was just like locked in. I'm like at the gym, then I go home, eat. I'm at another gym, and it's just like busy, super busy. I mean, but I just know that. I'm trying to put us in a position where we can just keep growing.
Part of the sacrifice.
And right now he's little. He's 1 year old. So it's like it's all sacrifices, you know what I mean? And when I do spend time with him, it's so much better, because it's not always there. You know, sometimes I have to put that work in. I have to lock in. And so when I do,
I see him walk in the gym like it's his and shit.
Yeah. So when I do get the time to spend with them, and like, or when he does go to the gym, he's like walking around, he's kicking the bags, he's loving it. So my son was a major reason as well, taking the L on that previous fight. My son being born, a lot of people turning their backs on me going into this camp, which is normal part of life, you know.
People show their colors.
We've gone through many different cycles at the gym of athletes, fighters. You know, all you can do as a coach is give your all to all of them. If they decide to move on, then wish the best for them, you know. Everyone has to make their own decisions and go where they feel that they need to be. And so for me personally, I'm like, I got loyalty tatted on my chest. Like, I'm like, when I find my people, I keep my people, because it's rare to find good people. Right. So when I find good people, I keep good people around, because I
posted your video, and it's a loyalty over everything. The reason I say that is because, like, you're right, you don't find true people in this life. Seriously, if they're showing trueness, honor, loyalty, all that stuff, man, you got to keep those people close, and it's a relationship goes back and forth, right? You water me, I water you. You know what I'm saying? So those are the type of things. Keep that circle tight, and also boot them. Be able to see the true color of those people.
Yeah. Man. Sometimes people are gonna show their true colors, and you can't be afraid to get rid of them.
Can't make people love you.
I'm the kind of person that'll give somebody chances over and over and over and over again. Yeah. But there comes a certain point where it's better to cut the ties. Yeah. It's best to cut the ties and move in your own direction and let them go on their own path and figure things out for themselves. Especially when you've been giving, and they're taking advantage, and then they end up showing their true colors in whatever kind of way or situation, and then it's time to cut the ties, move on, and just give the best of yourself, and life goes on. There's billions and billions of people out there.
You know
what I mean? Like you don't need a specific person. Once you realize that all you really need is you and having a good relationship with God above everything. Having a good relationship with God, that's what sets you up for finding your dream wife. True. That's what sets you up for being the best father that you can be. That's what sets you up for being the best son, brother, uncle, cousin, whatever that you can be.
I know there's people out there. Seriously, there's people out there that are like, nah, I got this life taken care of. Like I got it wrapped up. I know what's going on. This message is not for you. Honestly, like you're gonna go through life and you're gonna get the highs and lows of that type of life, but I know there's people out there right now that are like, fuck, it's so fucking hard, and they're saying that over and over again. They're going to sleep and they can't sleep, and they're like, fuck, this is hard. But if you just take the moment and just take yourself to church for one, read the Bible for two, I mean, those are just simple things, but actually understand what it means to give up your life, yourself, to God, like your actual life to God. Like I teeter on that so many times, so much, because my grandfather grew me up to be devout. He was a Catholic that went to church every Sunday. He'd walk if he had to. This gentleman was devout Catholic. My mom tried to instill that into me, and I have that direction in me, and I see it, and I mean I want to do it every day, and I can tell you that for sure what he's saying is true, because as you make those movements toward God, that's that vibration. That's the vibration where everything comes toward you. You don't have to work so hard. Everything's not so hard. Like you're asking yourself, why is it so hard? It won't be, because you're making the right moves.
For sure, God has a plan for all of us, right? And like
you're not gonna miss your blessings, but
I truly believe that God has a plan for all of us, and like I always get back into the spiritual things because I'm not afraid to talk about it. Right. Like a lot of people are afraid to talk about spirituality or things like that, and like with me personally, like I went through some crazy moments, the hardest times of my life alone by myself, and I prayed and I prayed and I prayed, and I developed this relationship with God, and he ultimately has brought me to this point where I feel like I'm successful and I have everything I ever dreamed of, and I feel like God is only preparing me and showing me like there's so much more yet to come, and I stopped being afraid of the blessings. Sometimes people they self-sabotage. They're afraid of the blessings that can come. They're afraid of success. Right. And that's where self-sabotage comes into play. So it's like you said, you gotta see the blessings, see the signs, and understand like this is God, helping you out right here. Like this is a sign to get off your butt and go work hard. If you've been missing that sign to jump in the gym and start training, whether it's in martial arts or it's not in martial arts, or if you've been missing that sign to change your diet and do better, take some of these words for what it is, and start putting some of these things into action, because no one's gonna do it for you. No, but it doesn't bother anyone if you don't decide to get it done. This is your life. I always tell people at the gym, be the main character in your own movie. This life, you have to make it your movie, whatever you want. You want to be a pop star, you want to be a rock star, you want to be a champion, you want to be a professional dancer, you want to be the best chef in the world. Like, get out there, apply yourself, take the chances, apply for the show, apply for acting classes,
manipulate every single avenue that you can. Honestly, like put your art out there. Like, don't be afraid to put your art out there, whatever it is, and and not necessarily like for instance, Ricky his art is in the cage. His art is his form and how much he's trained when you see him fight. But the training, the reps of your whatever your passion is, you know what I'm saying? Like I cook constantly, and I'm blessed to cook every night, and shout out to the doctor that I cook for, because it's high grade proteins and all that stuff, so I get great reps. But you got to know your passion, and if you want to go toward that, like you said, any goal you have, you got to put in the reps, put in the training, put in the reps, and then there it comes. You know what I'm saying? Like you're vibrating toward it. But another thing I wanted to talk about was that temple, because I watch a lot of sci-fi. I get into like the earth and then like science and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they said, you know what? When you're drinking water, or it rains on you, and rain falls in your water, it's possible that water droplet was inside Genghis Khan back in back in the day. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's like, there's only a certain amount of water in the earth, and it just keeps rotating back up in the sky and back on the floor. And back, you know what I mean? So it's like, what the fuck? Like your body, you don't understand what your body is. Like your brain, we don't even understand what the hell a brain is. You know what I'm saying? Like, and how your body works so sufficiently. You know what I mean? You think going to the restroom is like, oh, I gotta go to the restroom. Like, how the fuck does your body manipulate all that food you ate, fucking fat ass eating the Chicos and shit, and turn it into pee over there? Come on, let's talk about that. So take care of the body, which is something that you can do simple, right? Training and exercise and food and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, that's the part of the vibration that you start getting all the positivity.
Exactly, bro. Like we said earlier, when we were talking about ingesting information, when you said, what advice would you give to someone that's looking to change things to do better, and I was talking about ingesting information, like what you look at on social media. If you're looking at bullshit all day long, guess what you're gonna end up doing, or speaking, or even thinking about a bunch of bullshit, a bunch of wasted energy, a bunch of wasted things. If you're looking at good content, good information that can help you, that might be a key. There might be a key in there where you could learn something. Like, these are the things that you got to surround yourself with. Not only that, but the people, right? What people are you putting yourself around? If you put yourself around,
there's a lot of people out there that are like chilling though. They're probably just flicking. They're like, oh shit, their motivation. They're like, fuck that, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's up with that? What's up with that aspect of life?
Well,
like ignorance. Is that ignorance? Is that what it is?
Yeah, and they're dodging. Gluttony? They're dodging the information. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I've been around people where I start talking about like God or things like that, and they get uncomfortable and they tune it out, and they walk away, or they don't want to be around it. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I mean, that message is not for them. Right. For the people that do listen and do think that a message is for them, then it is. Like, your perception is your reality, you know? So I watch what I watch. I pay attention to what I watch on social media, on the phone. I pay attention to what I listen to now, to the music that I'm ingesting. Obviously, I still like rap and stuff like that, but sometimes you don't want to just hear murder, kill, bitches, hoes, all this bullshit.
Honestly, I could tell you for sure, like me personally, like when I try to change my life, like when I hear hip hop, or especially a song from back in the day, like it reminds me of chilling back in the day. So like I want to like smoke or drink or do something stupid, you know what I mean? So like, when you're ingesting things, obviously, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to influence yourself in different ways too. So think about that. You know what I mean? Like, is that what direction you want to go? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's good music. Yeah, it's reminiscent. But what's your vibe? What's your actual, like, vibration in this moment right now? The present
for
moment,
sure.
You know what I'm
saying? And, like, there's a lot of different things that you can do. Like, when I go on YouTube, I'm like, I want to learn about crypto, you know, and I'll start watching all these crypto videos and teaching myself. Okay, and then so like now I'm getting successful in business, so I gotta learn about taxes. Is it that fun to watch the tax videos? Not so much, but I gotta learn it. I gotta learn it, because or else I'm gonna end up losing a lot of money. So I start learning about taxes, and I gotta learn about taxes. I remember back in the day, I wanted to start my own cut and sew clothing line, like not just printing a t-shirt, like literally like designing the clothing, how it fits and all that. I learned how to sew when I was doing that. So like, you have YouTube, an unlimited source of information, of videos that can teach you anything. Like, all the tools that you need right now in this day and age with technology and everything are in your hands. Like, it's in the phone.
Absolutely.
Like, find the right content to ingest if you want to succeed. If you're not making the amount of money that you want to make, or living the way that you want to make, it's completely your fault. You can execute regardless of situations, circumstances, and information is free. Information is free. You could go to a library. If you don't have a phone, you go to the library, get a computer. Like, there's so many ways to find the information that you're looking for to make yourself successful or to find your avenue in this world.
So let's break that down. Your perception is your reality. Like, seriously, your perception. And he's talking about all these avenues, these channels that we tune into every day, right? You wake up, you look at social media, you Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. Even if you're on LinkedIn, it's part of social media. You're getting into that, right? So your perception, so as you're reading social media, as you're seeing all these pictures and getting influenced by all these people, right? What they want you to see, then that's your perception of your reality as you get out of bed, start walking and doing your thing. So think about that. Like, he says he wakes up and he pops out of bed. I've done that before. I mean, like, I've been motivated, but there's some days that I'm not. When you're not motivated and you pop out of bed, I think that's when you're breaking through. That's when you start breaking through. You're not letting the subconscious take over. You know, you're present in that moment, right? I want to pop out of bed, and I have the energy to do that.
It's going to be a process. Yeah, it's going to be a process. And like we spoke about earlier before we even started the podcast, right? There's a transformational period, and when you're transforming, when you're going through stages in your life, when you're going from this and there's major changes, it hurts. You know, change is not easy. It can be painful and it can be disruptive and it can be hard. It could break you. It could break you. Exactly. But change is necessary. It's something that we're all going to go through. And it's not always about fighting the change. It's just learning to accept the change, you know, and the sooner you start to accept changes, you can understand that all that pain that you're feeling and all that, it's happening for a reason. Now, when you're going through it, it really hurts and it really sucks when you're going through anxiety, stress, and all these things. But at the end of that, you will have learned a lesson. You will change. You will become better. You will be able to avoid the mistake again.
Or that's how you can try to defeat it, right? Is trying to figure out what the purpose of that, what was the lesson in all that anxiety, depression. Right? Why did I go through that? You know, like, because obviously you put yourself into that. I mean, you know, our parent, we can blame our parents and you know society and things like that, but we can make those changes, right? Let's see what the lesson is and let's try to figure out what we can do to make the change and stuff like that. But if you just take it as, oh, this is what reality is, you're just going to get beat up over and over again.
For sure. And it really takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of dedication. You know, being consistent
consistency is key for sure.
What it is that you're trying to do, that's what's gonna really set the tone and set you up for living your dream world. Living, you know, I can honestly say, like, I feel like I'm living my dream world because it took a lot of walking through hell to get to heaven. Like, it's like the saying goes, it takes walking through hell to get to heaven. And it feels like heaven when you're walking to hell, because it's not fun. You know what I mean? It's not fun when you're trying to get to the top, when you're trying to become successful, whatever that means to you. It's not just money. Success.
Where'd you hear that?
Nah, it's just a famous saying.
Fuck, like, that's fucking good, dude, because that's true. You fucking
I've been seeing it on Instagram a lot. It just makes so much sense. It does. Like, it feels like heaven when you're walking to hell, and it feels like hell when you're walking to heaven.
Damn, that's the fucking truth. I got chills a little bit, man.
Yeah, I saw that on social media, bro, and it's been clicking so much, and it just makes sense, because coming up, a lot of times I was like, damn, like, why'd this have to happen to me? And like, I'm sure everyone thinks like that, has thought like that at some points, like, why'd this have to happen to me? Why am I going through this? And I always like would find myself like feeling sorry for myself, you know what I mean? And I'm like, nah, bro, like, this is what you were destined to walk this path. Like, Jesus carried his cross, you got to carry your cross, you know? And that's just the way it is, bro. When I was doing time, I did a little bit of time when I was 19, and when I was doing my bid, I was like, I would tell people, you know, we would do these Bible studies, and I would tell people, you know, whenever I would speak, I'd be like, you know, Jesus carried his cross, and right now we're carrying our cross, you know, and this is part of the game for us, and that's why we're in here. And some of us are, you know, might have done worse things than others, and this and that, but we're all in here together right now, and like, this is our cross, you know, and like, you're gonna do your time how you see fit. If you want to do your time and fuck it up and do things worse, then that's what's gonna happen, and you're gonna go down that rabbit hole and end up in a real dark place. Or you could end up changing, reaching transformation. And like and that's what happened with me being in there. You know, it transformed me. Doing that little bid really changed me, and now you see me 35 years old. You know, what's that? 16 years later, I'm a whole different person, you know, and I took all those lessons that I learned and I kept refining myself and reinventing myself. Like I told you earlier, I was like, I've been broken down so many times, bro, and rebuilt so many times. And like this recent transformation period that started late December, it really like changed everything. I shed all the negative weight. I shed all the negative skin, all the negative people that were blocking my path. And what you saw in that cage was not just in a winning sense or in the martial arts sense or not even the violent part of the thing. It was about the shining moment, the win after the battle. And what you saw was the hard work coming to fruition from this recent transformation that I went through. I mean, I changed everything, bro. I changed my whole life around, who I was talking to, who I was around, who I even allowed around me. You know what I mean? Who what I ate, what I listened to, what I drank, like what was coming out of my mouth, what I was teaching, what I was preaching. Like everything had to change this time, and this is, you know, the best version of me that's been out. And I think in a sense every single day you got to search for that 1%, that get 1% better, because every day you can be better than you were yesterday. And it's easy to say and it's hard to do, but if you can take that and do something with it, like, it will change your life, bro. If you make 1% change every day.
Consistency too, though, right? You're doing 1% every single day,
Facts.
right? Not Sunday off or you know, oh, it's a birthday or this, that, the other. No, make it a priority for yourself to do that 1% every day. I've fallen off, dude. When I was in your gym, I was motivated to do it 5 times a week, man. Seriously, fell off with an injury and just let it take the best of me. But I've realized everything, right? And I know the path that I need to take now, right? I'm making the right decisions to correct, not only just correct what I've done wrong, but also to make a better path to my vision of what I want. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, for sure.
I've created a business, right, that I never even thought of, and I'm like, okay, what's great the way it is. Well, it has potential. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's other chefs that would love to do what I do. They have no idea. Right now they're making like $15 an hour supporting a family or just trying to like pay their apartment bills and stuff like that. They don't even know that they could double their salary and be working inside people's homes, air conditioning, you know, 3 hours out of the day rather than 8. Choose your own schedule. You know, it's just so many aspects of being your own boss or self-employed than working for somebody, right? I know it's part of it, though. I want to tell every chef out there that wants to be a chef, you need to work under chefs, learn their techniques, learn their style, learn you know, the ins and outs of being in the kitchen, how to move, you know, flavors, all that stuff. But then progress to get that 1% better, right? And then figure out what direction you want to go. Do you want to have your own restaurant? Do you want to be a personal chef, private chef on a yacht? You know what I'm saying? That's the goals, right? So shoot for them, shoot for the stars. And you were saying, to raise the bar, right?
So earlier, what I was saying is like, you got to set your sights so high that people think you're crazy. You want to set your sights so fucking high that people will laugh at you. Mm-hmm. You know, they'll laugh at your dreams, at your goals, at your ambitions. I think personally, it doesn't matter what anyone fucking thinks. You got to set your sights so damn high that they will talk and chatter and say whatever they want, but it really doesn't even fucking matter. You set your sights on the stars, you're gonna end up on the moon. You're gonna end up going further than anyone's ever gone before. Yeah. Because your sights were set that far. You set your sights right here and you reach it, you're gonna be happy, but they're right here. Like, everyone's right there. Like, it's not anything special. You want to go above and beyond, and the way to do that is set your expectations so damn high. And you know, it doesn't mean if you don't get there, oh, I didn't get there. Like it's the journey, the journey. Absolutely. You know what I mean? You're still gonna get so much further than you would have gotten had you set your standards very low, had you set your sights real low.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Make an imprint on society, make an imprint on your family, the kids that are looking up to you. I mean, who you're mentoring while you're doing this, because you're not going to do it alone. Somebody's going to give you a hand. Somebody's going to see you from where you're not even going to be looking, like knowing. They're going to, because like what's funny is I get DMs sometimes, they'll be like, man, you motivated me to cook this. Look at this, check this out. I'm like, damn, that's fucking badass. You know, shout out everybody that watches me on IG and like sends me a message like that. That's dope, because all I'm doing is just cooking. I'm putting my art out there. Sometimes I show you my process, sometimes I'll show you like what I do, and then somebody's like, we recreated what you did and da-da-da. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you don't know how you touch people, right? So do the right, set your sights high, and as you're doing all these things, maybe you're failing, maybe you're succeeding, people are watching and they're getting motivated. They see, okay, it's gonna take a failure to make a success, right? So be that mentor, be that example for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Because that's maybe what your job is in life, is to be the example for somebody else that's going to change the world, right? You never know. You never know.
Like, you do something good, you help one person out, that person helps another person out,
because he's paying it forward, right?
Helps another person out. Yeah, it's just paying it forward, and that creates a ripple. You know, right now, this day and age, there's so much crazy shit going on in the world. It's like all you could do is try to leave a good imprint, leave a good impact on the world. You know, and so
I think if people are like into this political like thing that's going on too, like you really only can affect your community. You know what I'm saying? Like, who are the people that you see day to day, who lives in your actual neighborhood? Those are the people that you should worry about. You know, do you actually know your neighbor down the street? You know what I'm saying? You're worried about Gaza and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So really try to see what your capabilities are, what your reach is, and try to fix your own community first, and then we can all come together. But right now, it's all too much negativity in the world, right?
Yeah, for sure, bro. I mean, and that's why, when I get the platform and the stage that I have, shout out to Empire Promotions for putting on these fights, giving me the opportunity to get back in there and make this comeback that I've been planning for so long. And so it all starts with June 21st, getting back in there. And with this platform that I've been given, I'm like, I just want to share my message and hopefully inspire some young kid out there that's watching this to be like, you know what, I'm gonna start training. Like, I'm no different than you. I'm no different than I'm not special. I just work hard. Like, you see these guys winning in the world and getting it and reaching their dreams and winning the UFC championship and winning local championships and different things. They're not special. They just work harder. You know what I mean? You gotta work hard. You gotta earn it. That's why I've been hashtagging constantly on my social media. Earn it. It's really how it has to go. And June 21st is gonna be a great card. At the Pan American Center for Empire Promotions. Once again, same place where the last fight was at. June 21st. It's a Saturday. Doors are gonna open at 4 p.m. But guys, you do not want to miss this. Whoever is watching, I know you
fighting at 155?
Yeah, I'm moving up to 155. The 45 weight cut is no longer for me. We're getting some size. We're eating a lot. We're eating good now.
That's what's up.
For a long time, I was feeding off the light. I was feeding off the sun, the energy, and I was eating twice a day. And now at this point in my life, like, I feel like I'm winning, like I'm doing good, and I'm eating a lot. And that food and hitting the weights and everything, I'm gaining a lot of weight. So I'm moving up to 155. I'll be fighting at lightweight this next fight. We got a tough opponent from Arizona, Dan something, I can't remember his name, but he's tough. He's fought in bare knuckle. He's a solid fighter. Hopefully this is the matchup that sticks for June 21st. We went through a couple guys trying to get a fight made up, but this guy's tough, and he's gonna show up, and I'm gonna show up, and may the best man win. But you know what I mean? I'm coming to give it my all.
June 21st, y'all. Is it a Saturday? Yeah.
June 21st, Saturday, Empire Promotions. I'm going to put it on my calendar, dude, so I'll make sure don't get it that night. Yeah,
dude.
Make sure you follow Empire Promotions on Instagram. Follow me, Savage Diamond 89, my gym, SVG MMA Academy. Guys, June 21st. There's actually 3 championship fights, amateur belts that are going to go up. Some some really sharp guys from Empire MMA out here in El Paso, another local really good gym, and they're fighting for belts. Tough guys. You don't want to miss it.
You're the only one on your in your gym on the card?
No, I got another professional. There's also 4 professional fights on the card, and me and one of my other coaches that's at my gym, we're gonna be 2 of the pro fights. Mm-hmm. So my other guy, Lichi, he goes by Lichi. His name's Fernando, but he's from Mexico. Dude's a killer, straight killer, and it's gonna be his first time fighting right here near El Paso in Las Cruces. And
out of SVG.
Yeah, fighting out of SVG MMA. Lichi, shout out my homie Lichi, and he's a killer, bro. You're gonna see him do some work. That's what's up. Some real serious work on June 21st, and then I'll be fighting as well. So we're excited. We're excited to represent the gym, to put on. Like I said, there's going to be some championship fights on that card. So there's a lot going on for martial arts. Going back to martial arts in El Paso, there's a lot happening. A lot of different promotions. A lot of fighters on the rise, and it's a good time to be in mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
You know.
And what about your own gym? Don't you have Primal too?
Yeah, April 26th this month at SVG MMA Academy, 2131 Texas Ave. We have exhibition fights, Primal Instinct Championships. That's my exhibition fight promotion, and it's exhibition. It's exhibition fights. It's not like the big fights that we're gonna fight in June. But these fights are awesome, and they're some of the most action-packed fights you will ever see, because it's young up and comers. Yeah. A lot of them have never fought before, and they're looking to.
It's like when you watch NFL and you watch college. The college, how hungry they are, and they're just like all out. You know,
they go hard. Yeah. So these young up and comers are hungry. They're looking to prove themselves. They're looking to get the experience, and it's a good event for youngsters to up and comers to get that experience and to get that, to build that confidence. You know, to take things to the next level and eventually go pro. Yeah. You know, so shout out Primal Instinct Championships. You know what I mean? April 26th. Follow them on Instagram, Primal Instinct Championships. That way you're kept up with the dates and everything. It's going to be a great turnout. We got a couple little kid fights. The little kid fights are amazing. The last event, we had some 10-year-old girls fight. Oh, my God. It was the fight of the night.
That's what's up, dude.
One of the best fights we've ever had on Primal. And it was 2 little girls. They were so tough. It ended up being a draw. Right. And it was just one of the best fights ever. It was literally better than a bunch of the adult fights. It was wild. Then we had some 7-year-olds fight. And it was cool. I mean, it's protected. They're taken care of. They're wearing headgear, shin guards. But I mean, fighting is tough, and they gave it their all. They got hard. If
somebody wanted to put their kids in your gym, what time is that?
Yeah, we got kids class Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5 to 6 p.m.
5 to 6 p.m.
And anyone's welcome to bring their kid for a free trial class and see how they like it. We have great prices, great coaching.
No, my kid, when he went to the what was that, open the gym you had, was a rotation?
We did an anti-bullying seminar.
Yeah. No, that was cool, man, because that's the first time I ever seen my kid get into the wrestling, and he took it seriously, man. He was doing good. Yeah, he was, man. That was really, really interesting. And I go to work. I have to be at work at 5 o'clock. Otherwise, I would have put him into that, because I think that's what he needs right now. He's not getting bullied, but he's kind of being a follower in a way. And I want him to be his own person. You know what I mean? Realize what his strengths are.
Martial arts is a great outlet for kids to gain that confidence. To have courage also to defend themselves if they have to, and there's so much that goes into it, bro. A lot more than just fighting.
I wanted to talk about the fruits of being a owner, a gym owner or just an entrepreneur. How long have you been in business?
So my gym's been open since 2022, right when the whole COVID thing was ending.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I remember everyone don't open a gym. What if there's a shutdown? You're gonna lose everything.
So have you had kids that have been with you a long time?
Yeah, some of the kids have been there a while, and they're so good. You could tell who's been there a while because they're sharp.
Because when you work for I work for adults, but it's just different when you see the kids grow as you've been with them
it's amazing.
Years. That's right.
It's amazing because I see changes. I see not only in the kids and the adults at my gym.
True.
And the kids, the adults, everybody that walks through those doors. I consider the gym like a sanctuary, bro. It's a safe space where it's not gonna be easy, but you work hard, you get through it, and you're gonna learn so much about yourself. And like, people go in there and they release so much stress and anxiety. They leave their ego at the door. You come in, work hard, they leave, they feel fulfilled, they feel happy.
Absolutely.
And I see smiles on their faces. And like, so many adults and kids have walked in there just feeling like, looking shy, timid, afraid. And then by the time they're like they got some time in, they're like leaving there with their head up, feeling strong.
Seriously,
feeling
big shout out to you, man. Seriously, as a coach, but as a good coach, you know what I mean? Like, you can have, you give the tough love when it needs to be there, and like the serious, like stern talks, and then you also have like that camaraderie, dude. It's weird to be a coach. I'm learning that you can't just be a badass, like professional and great at what you do. You need to be a good coach. Like, you need to slow down, figure out what other people have weaknesses and stuff like that, and try to help them and stuff like that, and be so patient and stuff like that. So shout out to you, seriously, man, because it takes a lot to be a good coach. And there's hundreds of kids out here that have been coached or even mentored by you. So straight up, I want to talk about this book. This was a gift given by my dad. I don't talk to him much, you know what I mean? I wish I talked to him more, but he's always there for me when I do need him. Something's bad that's happening, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, just a man-to-man talk real quick, and he'll get me there. This last one we talked about, I get jitters, I'm so passionate, bro, that it just spills out of me sometimes. You know what I mean? I mumble when I talk, or I'll, just little things. And he's like, hey man, you need to slow down. You know what I mean? You need to be control of the moment, and be confident in what you're saying, slow down and say it concise, and things like that. So I was like, I needed that, you know what I mean? And he actually listened to what I was saying when I told him that I mentored somebody, and I really feel like, that's part of my life, who I am now. And he found this book. It's called Who Believed in You. And just to give you a little summary of what it has to offer, this is from Brian Grazer. It says, I think that's what everyone needs to succeed. One real champion to show you a better pathway, to help you see the value in you that perhaps no one else is seeing. So shout out to every coach, and shout out to you, Mr. Ricky Savage. Thank you for being in my life, as someone to look up to, someone to say, I'm like, fuck, I don't think I could do this. I'm like, dude, this motherfucker does it every single fucking day. So thank you, man. Seriously, I'm watching you, and I'm seeing what you're doing, accomplishing your goals, taking care of your family, and it's very amiable, man. And God bless you, bro. Seriously, on your path.
Likewise, seriously, bro.
If I can do anything to help you out, man, let me know. I'd love to cook for you again and again. I'm sure I'll get a chance to. I got the lamb in my freezer. Ready?
I'm excited. That's my favorite food, some lamb chops.
Yes, sir. So we'll get that done. And this is the Grind2Hard podcast. This is the 70th episode. I don't want to say this is like the last one, but what I have to do is kind of take like a little bit of a break. When I started the podcast, this was about me paying it forward. I was making a lot of money. I went from making, maybe a third of what I made to quadrupling it and stuff like that. So what I wanted to do was get a podcast, and paying for it wasn't even an issue. Like, it was just like boom, cash, boom, 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 and I could pay it forward. I could talk to guests, and I could have this thing going on. But now it's become a little bit of a burden, because what I do in my main business, it takes a lot. I need to grow the business, buy equipment, hire, pay payroll, all this stuff. You know what I mean? That now this is a luxury to actually do the Grind2Hard podcast. Of course, in the midst of this, I'll be looking for sponsors. I'll be, kind of connecting with people to see what's going on with, continuing the Grind2Hard podcast. But for now, I just want to say thank you to Paul Ward. Thank you to Nevermore Records. Thank you to Miker. Thank you to everybody who ever encouraged me to keep doing the podcast. People who watch and get motivated, send me DMs and stuff like that. Like, this isn't the end. You know what I mean? We'll talk again on the Grind2Hard channel, but for now I need to take a break, and everybody needs to assess their situation in life and figure out how their energy is being put forth. And I use a lot of energy to talk to my guests, research them, and figure out how to manipulate the right conversation so that you can hear and get the motivation that you need. You know what I mean? Because it took me like books of Gary Vee and podcasts and videos to where I was finally like, let me try this. Let me go and fucking try this. So, if Grind2Hard did that for you, I my mission came true. But I want to keep continuing it, and I'll see you guys in the future. But for now, we're just going to take a little bit of a pause. And if it is the end, I want to say thanks, seriously, like to everybody that ever even like said Grind2Hard. I mean, there's so many people, all my guests, 70 guests or 60 guests, you know what I mean? So many people that motivated me to keep going, right? In the midst of me helping other people motivated and keep going. So it's been a fucking badass journey. And that's the thing, like, enjoy the journey, like you were saying, man.
Yeah,
it's all about the fucking journey. You killed
it, bro. This whole podcast has been a blessing. I've always loved being a part of it. The times I've been on.
Hell yeah.
I've watched a bunch of your episodes. You're a great speaker. You got a lot of good things going for you. And all the best, brother.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Just keep pushing.
Yeah.
Keep grinding. Let's keep moving forward.
1000%.
That's why it's called Grind2Hard.
1000. That's what I'm saying, dude. It's called Grind2Hard, and I wasn't, dog. Like in the beginning, I was, and I just kind of let off a little bit. You know what I mean? I was being a little bit not complacent because I work hard. Let me tell you, man. I put in some work to maintain what I do. But it's like a certain level of complacency. What do you do with your extra time? That's why I'm going to end this right now. What do you do with your extra time? Are you scrolling? Are you reading? Are you advancing? You're like that 1%. This episode is about getting 1% better. Seriously, like do it. And then consistency. Those two things: 1% better, consistency. And I promise you'll figure out that passion and you'll manipulate it to the best of it. Figure out those blessings that God has for you. Seriously.
Facts.
All right, bet.
Hey,
it's been a
mad
pleasure,
love,
man.
brother.
Mad love. Yo, this is Grind2Hard podcast, y'all. Stay positive, stay motivated, keep going. We'll see you again, y'all. Stay up.